Welcome to the Give It a Nudge podcast. Thanks for joining us. Each week, you're going to hear stories from founders, VCs, and private equity leaders from across the industry. We hope that these stories are going to give you insights to help you on your journey, and we'd love you to be part of our community. So please hit that subscribe button, and let's get on with the show. Welcome to Give It a Nudge. We are very excited today, Give It a Nudge, to have one of my oldest friends on the show with his new business. And we are going to, run through a little bit of his history and then talk about what he's trying to do to save the planet, which is super exciting. So, James, welcome.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be here.
We have been talking about you coming on the show for some time.
Yeah.
Now we have you.
Yes, very exciting to be here.
Very dapperly dressed, I might say.
Well, I wasn't sure what to wear, but I think this might be.
Well, I saw the 6 outfits you bought.
Yeah.
Let's quick update on what you're doing now, and then we'll sort of delve back into what you did. So, Introduce yourself and introduce your company, and tell us what that company is trying to do. Short synopsis.
Yeah, sure. No worries. So, my name is James, and I'm the founder of BlueSana. And BlueSana is a business that will connect investors with assets that will help decarbonize the planet and reduce the risk of climate change.
Okay. And is that like a platform?
Yeah. So tech investment platform at the heart of it. And then we'll create our own investment products that are obviously linked to impact and climate, and wraparound services that enable investors and also private assets to raise capital.
Okay. So before we get into the depths of it, just out of interest, we'll come back to your previous life in a minute. Where did this idea come from? Because your last business was nothing to do with
Nothing to do with this, that's right.
Nothing.
Why am I doing this? Well, there's 3 key reasons. So the first one is that I've always been concerned about the planet and where it's going. And I've always felt that I wanted to do something that could, be impactful and make a difference. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But probably the key thing was a family dinner we were having 2 years ago in COVID.
Family dinner?
Family dinner. Yeah, we always have family dinner. It's a very important part of the day. And my daughters were 15 and 13 at the time. And they usually complain about how boring school is at dinner time. But this particular dinner, they were talking about how concerned they were about the state of the planet, about climate change, deforestation, biodiversity depletion, and they were really, really getting into it, which shows that they've been taught something good at school, and they read a bit as well and watch the news. And my eldest daughter said, how did the adults allow this to happen? Which I thought was a great, direct, hard-hitting question. And I basically said, well, there's a number of things, but look, I'll do whatever I can to try and make a change and create a better planet for you in the future.
That's a hell of a question.
It's a hell of a question, and I committed to my kids right there at that dinner that I would do something. So that is my driving force for BlueSana, and that's the biggest thing.
You haven't told me that before,
Haven't I?
I like it when I hear something new.
Yeah. So, that's an incredible motivator for me, because you need a really good reason to set up another business when you've done it before.
Really good.
Because it's hard work, and you have to put all your energy, heart, and soul into it. This is the most motivating thing I can ever think of. Coupled with that, when I did sell Bluefin and I was looking to invest my proceeds from the sale, it became very clear to me that the financial advisors, and private wealth guys, on the whole, had very little visibility over the impact and climate space.
Yeah, and I think that's changing. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you got into a position where you can do something, because there's a lot of dads out there who, if their daughter asks them, there's not necessarily as much as they wouldn't be able to start a business. They might be able to do something. Of course, everyone can do something. But
that's right.
So you and I have obviously known each other a long time. We both worked in recruitment. We both worked together in Australia when we first joined. You founded your own business, Bluefin.
From
your. Was it your lounge room or bedroom?
Study.
You had a study?
It was a study. It was like a 3rd bedroom.
Okay.
It was a study.
No kids, right? So
no kids. It had a computer with a monitor that was deep like that. I remember those. That's how long
I remember your chair. Yeah, one of those old school chairs.
Yeah.
So you founded that in what year?
2003. So I built that up from scratch as the founder, CEO, and sole shareholder. Sold that in 2015 to Outsourcing Inc., Tokyo-listed global recruitment firm. I finished up there late last year, replaced myself with a new CEO, so I've exited that business so that I can, put all
You've
my
had
time
that
and
experience.
energy.
You've had that experience of going from zero to, and we had the GFC during that time. I remember
not many people remember that.
You'd just taken out a massive amount of office space about 3 weeks before the GFC. I also remember that. You'd expanded.
I bought a new house in August 2008, and then we were heavily in the financial services, recruiting the financial services.
It's ideal.
Yeah, it was really happy time in my life, that. And we went from making all this profit every month to making no profit and making a loss.
Yeah.
So that year was a very challenging year in my career, but sometimes the darkest times are the most illuminating, and you learn a lot of things about people and business and everything else. So, yeah, whilst those times have been hard, they're also quite fundamental in how you are as a leader.
Resilience.
Resilience and grit and all that sort of stuff, and how you learn and how you grow as a leader. So,
So let's come back to your current business.
Yeah.
BlueSana.
Yes.
Before we get into it,
do you like the name?
Where's the name? We had Bluefin.
Yeah.
We got BlueSana.
Yeah. So sana means to heal in Latin. So like heal the planet.
I actually knew that because I did Latin at school.
Oh, good. I didn't. I'm glad you did. And then I wanted the name Sana, but I couldn't get it.
Right.
So then again, there was another family dinner. What am I going to do? And BlueSana was a clear winner and a nod to Bluefin. Blue is the ocean.
The sky.
Your
shirt.
My shirt.
It's a no-brainer.
That's right, yeah. Your eyes. Your eyes. Yeah. And I think it sounds lovely.
It's a good name. And obviously that domain was available.
Yeah.
So where do you said to your children, we need to save the planet. Where did you come up with this idea?
Well, I went through a few iterations of what I was going to do. I started off thinking, right, I'm going to set up a charity. But as I spoke to people in the charity and philanthropic sector,
I remember that too, yeah.
Yeah, I realized that I was an entrepreneur at heart, and that wasn't going to be the best vehicle for me to set up and be successful in. So I thought, okay, it has to be a commercial organization where I can, use my entrepreneurial skills. And I went through a few different modes of how capital and investment can be levered to create a better planet. And in the end, it came down to, an investment platform that gives investors visibility, access, curation, education, and ease of investment.
Yep.
And it's all impacts and all climate related.
Okay.
And there is nothing quite like that in Australia right now.
And I guess if you can persuade people to save the planet and also give them a return, the likelihood of them wanting to do that is massively increased.
Well, I think, that's a very compelling proposition for anyone. And currently impact investment is a very, very, very minute portion of global funds under management. If that can be shifted a few percentages, then that money can go into amazing businesses and projects that can create a better future for
Have you felt that shift? I have. Obviously I'm still in recruitment. As you know, we recruit startups and scale-ups, and in that space particularly, I've seen a huge shift in the last 6 months alone. Yeah,
that's right. I think when I started looking at this 18 months ago, it was pretty slim pickings in what was out there. There's a lot more opportunities in the market. But it's still fragmented, and it's still hard to know exactly what is truly impactful. Yeah. Should I invest in this? So there's just so many question marks around it still. And that's what I want to solve with the BlueSana platform. Okay.
So where are we up to? Where are we? Where is the business today?
Today, so I've got a consulting CTO on board, and we are assessing the different components of the tech platform.
Yep.
So we're, moving towards final DD stages of that. Mm-hmm. I am raising a seed round, and I'm looking for 3 to 5 million. That's going well, but I need more. Always need more. And the type of investors ideally that I want are people that are obviously driven by the same vision and the same purpose, that can be advocates and also help in some way. That would be the perfect investor.
Absolutely.
And I'm also bringing on sort of key founding employees that will help launch the business. And
So you're more interested in individual investors than you aren't necessarily institutional or venture capital? Are you too early stage for that?
Look, I would take investment from anyone. But like I said, the perfect investor is one that is clearly aligned to the purpose and that in some way can advocate and help in some shape or form. That's perfect.
And so every investor is going to ask you this question. So let's talk about it now. You get 3 to 5 million. What are you going to do with that money? Where's that money going to be spent?
Yeah. So building the tech.
Yep.
Hiring key people.
Yep.
Marketing. And then there'll be some like legal.
And let's say you got your 5, right?
Yeah.
Give me some idea when and look, this is obviously, putting your finger in the air, but what's your rough timescales around building that platform, getting it up and running, all those kind of things?
I think if I can raise the capital that I need in the next couple of months, then it's not out of the question to have an MVP, a pretty advanced MVP by end of this calendar year.
Okay.
But I think there's opportunities to also create some services revenue between now and then anyway.
Yep. In terms of the investments, are you going to be sourcing those? How are you going to do that? Because that's obviously a question a lot of people are going to want to know. Because like you said, there's a lot of noise out there now and it is picking up. How are you going to assess them? How are you going to curate them?
That's right, yeah. So this will be like the heart of the people side of the business is that hiring and experts that will be doing that research, curation, assessment, and that will be one of the key points of difference, not just the technology and how that's put together and how easy that is to use, but the team that is going to do that work. And that's what I'm doing at the moment is finding those key people that will enable that activity.
Well, you're a recruiter at heart, so this should be easy.
Yeah, I think it's easy. I think it's easy in terms of getting the referrals, getting in front of people. Everyone loves the vision, finds it highly compelling. But like with anything in a startup, people have to be able to take a leap of faith to go, okay, I believe in this so much that I'm going to join this right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And not everyone wants to do that.
God, no, a lot of people don't.
I mean, you would know this. I mean, you recruit into the space.
It's a certain type of individual as well. It's a certain type of person.
Yeah, that's right. They have an entrepreneurial flair. They're willing to take a risk, this type of risk in their career.
Yeah.
But like you would know, Steve, I think being part of the business from inception to like whatever, global success, and that's what I'm looking to create is a global business, is probably the most exciting thing that anyone can do in their career.
Oh, absolutely.
Full stop. And I love my time at Bluefin. It was an incredible journey, and I'm looking forward to this next journey with BlueSana and bringing on amazing people.
So one question I did want to pick up on there, you said global business.
Yeah.
So as you said earlier on, you said there's nothing like this in Australia right now.
Yeah.
So how are you building it out with a view to looking for Australian investment initially and then looking overseas, or are you just going to go bang global?
No, so build out the core foundations of the business in Australia, but then start to look at how we grow globally.
Yeah.
I mean, Singapore would be a great opportunity. There's a very high concentration of private wealth there. US, obviously, UK, Ireland. So that's the big plan, is to not just tackle Australia and say New Zealand.
Yeah.
To create truly systemic change in this space, I think it has to be a global business, and that's what I'm motivated to do.
Look, I think you're right, and I think the way the market's going, and even if I look at a lot of the startups we're working with, the growth in the investment in that space is just phenomenal, and I think it's just going to keep going and going and going.
Yeah, I mean, it should be the biggest investment theme the planet's ever seen to hit the Paris Agreement targets. I mean, this number varies, but let's say it is $7 trillion US a year.
We're not even close. I know
that's an immense amount of money, and it will need all the help in every part of the system to enable that. And I want BlueSana to be a critical part of that system.
And in terms of the investment side of it, if someone wants to invest, what's the best way to get hold of you? What's the best way to contact you?
LinkedIn.
James Hone, because you haven't told anyone your surname.
Hone. They can call me. Can I give out my mobile number?
You can give out your mobile number if you want. No one's ever done that before. I love a first. This is a give it a nudge first.
0404 808469 or james@bluesana.com.au.
And just so we get
that. And that's not just for potential investors, but anyone that's interested in partnering.
I was about to come to that, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just jumping ahead.
Go for it.
Be a potential founding employee. So they're people that have a strong background in investment funds management, ideally with that ESG impact pedigree.
Yep.
That are highly experienced. Yeah. love to talk to people in space.
Are you excited about the next
Yeah,
one?
it is exciting. It's like with anything, when you're doing this type of thing, it is incredibly exciting. You know, there's always this sort of element of fear as well, which is also makes it even more exciting.
Absolutely.
Because it is, it's daunting. You have to be brave to do these things, to set up a business from scratch.
You do.
So there's lots of different things that contribute to what makes it an incredible journey.
And last question.
Yeah.
What do your daughters think? They must be getting close to the stage where they can work for it.
Yeah, my eldest will be, so last year at school, next year. Yeah, I mean, they're very, very supportive. Every time they write a Christmas card or a birthday card, they always say, I hope you can save the planet.
That's so cool. That's really
So it's always there. It's in them. It's embedded in them as well. It doesn't stop them being naughty teenagers, but that's what.
Well, hopefully when they're 30, you'll get a card that says, thanks for saving the planet.
Yeah. Well, you can thank everyone for that.
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's what it'll need. Yeah.
Mate, that's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I've watched you go on both journeys. This one's going to be even more exciting, I think.
I think so, yeah. This is the big one. Everything that's led me to this point, yeah.
Oh, I think, and I think with what you've learned in the previous businesses, we all know, once you've done one and you've done it successfully, you got the second one.
Yeah.
So different how we go about things. So
That's right,
I'm excited to watch the journey. And when you do get close to saving the planet, we'll get you back on.
All right, see you next week.
Done.
All right.
Mate, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Steve. Appreciate it. Thanks, mate.